Guys, let me explain the safest investment strategies. So let's just say you make a lump sum of money. What the fuck are you gonna do with it? Let's just say you don't want to go buy a Trackhawk. Let's just say you don't want to go buy a Hellcat. Let's just say you don't want to get a Miami penthouse. Let's just say you want to be a smart fuck and actually do something wise with your money. Let me explain. I'm going to go through a few different strategies. The first strategy I'm going to go through is a high yield savings account. This is literally a savings account, but instead of a normal savings account where it'll give you a low amount of interest, this would instead give you a high amount of interest, and it's still FDIC insured, meaning Punchmade Dev can fucking rinse your bank account and you'd get that money back, assuming it was under, I believe the number is like 150K, I could be wrong. You would get that money back and you're chilling. Most high yield savings accounts have an interest yield of 3 to 5%, meaning that if you put 100 grand in a high yield savings account with a 5% yield, you would have $5,000 for free just by holding it in that savings account. This is probably the least riskiest thing you could do. You may be wondering, why doesn't everyone put their money in a high yield savings account? Well, with some of these high yield savings accounts, you can't access your money the same way you could with a normal savings account. There's probably withdrawal limits. You can't not make as many purchases, but it's a wise decision though if you just want to go safe. Next category is US Treasuries. Not Cambodian Treasuries, not Venezuelan Treasuries, not Israeli Treasuries, but US Treasuries. What are US Treasuries? US Treasuries, it's called a bond. It's basically where you give the United States a loan. So let's just say you give $50,000. They will pay you back and give you interest. And there's different types of durations you can give. You could choose a short term, like few months, long term, like few years, maybe even longer, fucking decade or more. So these treasuries range from a different scale. Short term one, you could get around 3.74% interest yield for around a 1 month treasury, and up to 4.2% for a 1 year treasury, and more than that you'd get a little under 5%. These are also extremely safe. They're backed by the US government. The US government is literally the strongest military force in the entire fucking world. The world literally revolves around the US dollar. Next category is other kinds of bonds / ETFs. So there's municipal bonds, which are like city and statewide bonds, and these can be tax-free, and they usually yield around 3 to 4% yearly. By the way, when someone says yield, that always means yearly, just so you know. Next is corporate bonds / ETFs. These bonds are issued by like companies. I mean, these fluctuate a lot. You could get a high-risk bond, which could give you, I don't know, better returns, but we're safe here. So on average, you could get around 4 to 5% for a corporate bond. This is a little bit less safe compared to like a US Treasury bond, just because a company does not have the type of insurance and safety that a fucking world-leading government would. People still invest in them, and the economy is doing pretty good right now. Next strategy, this might honestly be my favorite. I think this is my favorite. Index funds, aka my favorite, the S&P 500. This gives the annual yield of an averaged out return of 10%. 10%. Those fucking bonds were doing 5% max. Those treasury bonds, phew. And if you don't know what the S&P 500 is, it basically tracks the top 500 market cap stocks on the United States stock market. Higher market cap the stock is, the higher it would be on the ranking system, and the more it would influence the market. Smaller cap companies that are still in the S&P 500 would be on there, but they would have less economic weight. Over the years, it has given a consistent average return of around 10% yearly. If you don't understand the power of this, let me break this down. I've said this before in a previous YouTube short that I probably did, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it again. If you invest 15% of each paycheck you make, starting at 20 years old till retirement, literally, no cap, even if you work a fucking McDonald's job, you will become a fucking millionaire by the time you retire. Assuming you're like 60 years old by the time you retire, you will literally be a millionaire because of something called compounding. It compounds every year, so it kind of goes in a trajectory like this, you know? And if you don't believe me, fucking Google it or do the math yourself. And there's other index funds too. The S&P 500 isn't the only one. It's just my favorite, and I don't really want to go through any other ones because I feel like you guys watching this video, you guys probably aren't looking to find some fucking niche index fund. Probably just want some shit that you know you're going to get some motion from. The next and final category I'm going to go into is a money market fund. It's basically these large financial firms. They take your money and invest it. They do like a bunch of short-term trades, and they just have a bunch of different trades they do, but essentially it's wealth management. They're pros, they know what they're doing. These funds can range from an average about a 3.7 to 4.1 yearly yield. It's not FDIC insured. It's still a safe option. I don't really know as much about this. I'm gonna put this part at the end of the video. Guys, I do not feel like filming this video. I just plainly don't. I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys because I took a fucking Zen earlier because I thought if Alex Hormozy could pop a Zen and focus in the morning, then why don't I just pop a Zen? Mistake. Fucking mistake. Guys, you don't know this about me. I have a very sensitive stomach. Very sensitive stomach. Not like Mr. Beast level sensitive stomach, but my stomach is definitely sensitive. I was in the bathroom for a little while. I was in the bathroom for a good while. Basically, I had this whole episode that happened to me like a year ago where I like had this anxiety attack thing, and it was like linked to my stomach. So whenever my stomach is like really fucked up, I start getting anxiety too. So it was like a double whammy. Like the Zen just fucked my stomach, so I felt like shit. And on top of that, I was like getting anxious. Had to calm myself down. I feel better now, but I felt like filming this video because I wanted to, but like this is commitment. I just wanted to tell you guys this. Now, fuck all that.